welcome back to my channel. How is everybody doing today? I hope you're all having an amazing day or evening whenever you're watching. For today's video, we're going to be doing a little birthday glam in honor of my 27th birthday coming up on March 24th. Shout out to all my March babies and all my Aries out there. And let me just say, I have no idea what I'm doing on my birthday, but I know I want to do some glam and take some pictures. So I wanted to pretty much do the makeup look that I plan on doing on my birthday today using all of my favorite Holy Grail products. And I'm already getting birthday ready. When you guys watch this, it's going to be about a week or so before my birthday, but I'm doing some pre-filming. But I got my hair cut already. I needed it really bad. And also, let's take a moment and appreciate my robe. Isn't it so pretty? This has me written all over it. I love getting ready in satin silky robes, but when I saw this, I was like, yeah, that's a birthday robe right there. And I am so excited to announce that in honor of my birthday month, I have partnered up with Anissa Beauty to bring to you guys my very own JuicyJas Essentials brush set. I am so grateful. So huge shout out to Anissa Beauty for this opportunity and for sponsoring today's video. Ever since I discovered Anissa Beauty brushes, I have not only loved the quality, but I love the way my makeup applies with the brushes. These are definitely 3 of my most used brushes that I use in pretty much every single video. And I'm so happy that they are going to be now at a discounted rate, of course, because this is a little bundle. And from now up until March 22nd, there's actually going to be a code increase. So typically with my code JuicyJas, you guys can get 15% off, but until March 22nd, you guys are actually going to get 25% off, which is so amazing. And right after that, they're going to be doing a huge friends and family sale. Perfect, just in time for my birthday weekend. So head over to their Instagram and check them out on anissabeauty.com so you guys can get all the deets. But these are the 3 brushes also that I feel like are going to be essential in your makeup routine. No matter what products you use, no matter how you like to do your makeup, these are going to make your base look flawless every single time. Starting off with the It Girl main character. This is my #1 favorite brush, and it is the Pinnacle Foundation brush. Everything about this is perfection, down to the handles, the shape. No matter what foundation you're using, whether it's affordable or high-end, this makes all liquid foundations look flawless, and this is definitely my most used brush. And the next brush that we have in this set is the Angled Concealer brush. This I love because it will give you the maximum coverage on your under eyes without absorbing any of your products. I also love the shape of it. It does mimic your finger, so you're able to blend out your concealer not only precisely but also effortlessly and very quickly. And the last brush is the Tapered Highlighter. This is a great multi-purpose brush for all of your powdered products, whether you're using pressed powder, loose powder, highlighter, or blush. This is going to give you that soft airbrush look without leaving any harsh lines behind. And of course, you guys are going to see these brushes today in action with all of my favorite products. So I will have all the details in the description box below. So yay, I'm so excited. I hope you guys are too. Could not do it without you. So thank you guys. I appreciate you all so much. And let's get into it. Grab a snack, of course, get cozy, and grab your makeup and your brushes so we can get ready together, and let's do some glam. So I'm going to start off with my brows, of course. This is just a part of my personality at this point, doing my brows first and doing my 2016 brow routine forever and always. I'm going to go in with my Oma Beauty 2-in-1 brow styler. I just really cannot start the rest of my makeup until my brows are done. Like, I swear by this step first. Also, of course, let's address the elephant in the room. I just got my hair cut. It was time. I really needed it. My hair grows so quick, but I also just love my short hair so much. I definitely feel the most like myself, and I honestly cannot even imagine having long hair again. I feel like my short hair has just become a part of who I am, and it's just me. It's like my signature at this point, and it just feels so light and airy because it's fresh. I love the way like fresh salon hair feels. So typically, you guys know, when I fill in my brows, I like to use a pomade. It just works for me. I like how pigmented it is, and it gives me like that dark bold brow that I love. I typically use the e.l.f. liner and brow cream. This one's in the shade Espresso. It's so good. However, lately I also do like to use a brow powder, and the one that I like is from LA Colors. It's from this little brow kit that I got, and I've just been using the black color in here, which is basically like a matte black eyeshadow, honestly, and I have been filling in my brows with this. I discovered this last year, and I do really like it. Sometimes I still use the pomade, of course, but I do like the powder because then I don't get like that shiny brow look. You know, like when you wear your makeup all day and your face starts to get a little oily and then your brows start to look shiny? That's typically because of the pomade. So what you could do is, of course, set them after the pomade with the powder, but I'm just going to use this today because I do like the way my brows look with this, and pretty much just fill them in exactly how I do with my pomade. And then of course we're going to clean them up. I've been using so many different concealers. I'm not sure which one I want to use today, but I'm going to just clean them up with my soft matte concealer from Makeup Revolution, the IRL Filter Finish. And I'm just going to do a little bit of this on a flat brush to carve these out. And the key to this is just using a small amount of concealer. You don't need a lot. Now I'm ready to start the rest of the makeup. So of course we're gonna do the eyes first. And I'm thinking something smoky with a little glitter, of course, because it's birthday appropriate. So I'm gonna start off with the Rare Beauty eye primer. And I love how this base dries down to a soft matte finish, so you don't even need to set it with powder. For eyeshadows, I'm gonna use these two from Dose of Colors. This is the Pretty Cool palette, which is all matte cool tones, and then this is the Baked Browns 2, which is, of course, all warm tone shades. Let's start off with this palette first, and I'm gonna take these two transition colors, and I'm just gonna work those in the crease. I'm also gonna dabble into this transition color in the Pretty Cool palette too. So yeah, I am gonna be 27, you guys, and it just feels so weird because I officially feel like an adult. And I know it's like crazy because technically, right, it's like you're an adult when you're 18, but I honestly totally disagree with that. I feel like when you're 18, you're still a kid. I still felt like a kid up until the time I was probably maybe like 23, 24. And sometimes I still feel like I'm 18. And I'm not saying 27 is old by any means, but when I was probably maybe like 17, 18 years old, I used to think like late 20s, even 30s was like old, but now I'm like, that is so young. But yeah, I'm like officially in my late 20s, and it's also really crazy because when I started my YouTube channel, I was actually 10 years ago. I was 16 going on 17. So looking back even at those old videos, which a lot of them are private, so don't even try to go look at them because a lot of them are private because they're so embarrassing, but I just wish I could go back and like hug that little girl and tell her, everything's okay. You're going to get everything you want, and just take your time, enjoy the process, trust the process, and enjoy the journey. Because I think when you're growing up, especially around that age, you are always kind of just hoping, at least for me, like I was always wishing for the next thing and the next moment of my life. And I couldn't wait to be older and be an adult. And now I'm like, girl, please, I wish I could go back, honestly. But I am so grateful for where I am today. It's just sometimes I do miss being 18, 19, 20, but sometimes, to be honest, I still feel mentally like I'm there. Like I don't feel like I'm getting older in some ways. It's honestly just such a mix of emotions getting older. And I also feel like it's something that's not really talked about that much, like getting older and like just the bittersweetness of getting older. Because it is a beautiful thing, aging, but it's also kind of sad sometimes. Then I'm gonna take some of these browns in here, these two, and I'm gonna start working those on the outer lid. This is one of my all-time favorite smoky eyes to do as of recently. It's just classic. It looks good with everything. And you can definitely keep this all matte, like without any glitter too, and it's really just classic, you know. It looks good on everyone, an all matte look. But yeah, if I could go back and tell my younger self anything, the main thing is just take your time, be patient, like I said, trust the process and enjoy the journey. Don't wish your life away. Even if maybe things aren't exactly the way that you want right now, it's temporary. Everything in life is temporary, and I think it's just really important to be present, live in the moment, because time goes so quick. And I know that's so cliche, but like it really does. And I remember growing up, my parents would always say that like the older you get, the faster time goes, and I never really understood that until as I'm getting older. I'm like, wow, they're so right. And speaking of my parents, it's also really bittersweet watching my parents age, and that's really hard. And I feel like something that a lot of people don't tell you when you're growing up, like that's just, it's really just, like I said, a bittersweet thing. It's a bunch of emotions when you're getting older. Yeah, I'm an only child, by the way, so I feel like I'm just feeling all of these things, and I'm like, I wonder if other people feel this too, but I know other people do as well. I always talk to Hector about it. So I'm just really packing that color on, by the way, right in the outer lid and bringing it into the crease a little bit too. And there was something else that I saw that definitely resonated with me, but it's basically like, I'm sure you guys have heard the quote that says like, you're living in the good old days, but that is so true. That's why I say like, don't wish your present life away, because everything is temporary and you might end up missing the moment that you're in right now. Because I know for me, like I have so many times where I'm like, oh my gosh, like I wish I could go back. I wish I could do that again. And it's like, we're literally living in the good old days. So be present as much as possible and enjoy every single day and where you are right now. And the next day it'll come and you can cross that bridge when you get there. But I mean, of course, plan ahead, make goals, but don't forget about the moment that you're in right now too. Because that's definitely something that I wish I could tell my younger self for sure. So I'm telling any of you out there who needs to hear that. It's also really just mind-boggling to me to think that I have been doing this for like 10 years. So I'm proud of myself and I'm grateful for where I am and for how far I've come, and just to know that I have really put in the work, and I've really, like, I did this all on my own, of course with you guys, but it's just been wonderful. I'm just grateful. Like I said, it's just, if I could go back, I would just tell myself, like, trust the process, enjoy the journey, because it really is a beautiful journey as you're growing, and whatever career, whatever you're doing, the process can be truly just as beautiful as whatever your end goal or end result is as well. Now for the glitter, I'm going to use the Scattered Light Glitter eyeshadow in this shade Ray from Hourglass. This is my favorite color. I have a couple of these, and this is the best shade. It gives you such a beautiful glittery finish. Yes, love, love, love. And you can top this over any eyeshadow, and it's gonna just add that beautiful glitter. It's stunning. I'm gonna go into my Makeup by Mario palette. This is the Master Mattes, and I'm just gonna use the black in here. I love this black eyeshadow, and I'm gonna take an angled brush and just do a little smoky wing. And then I'm gonna take this dark brown in the Baked Browns 2 palette. Just gonna smoke out that black right on the edges of it. And always the most satisfying part is removing the tape. Bam! Love. Mascara and lashes, duh. I'm taking the Milani Highly Rated Lash Extensions, and we're gonna do a quick coat. I'm still loving this mascara. It's so long lasting, but it comes off really easily still because it's like a tubing mascara, so great formula. It doesn't flake on me. And I'm gonna use one of my favorite, more voluminous lashes from AF94 in the style Lash 03. I'm also gonna use this Pixie Endless Silky Eye Pencil in the shade Black Noir. This is so black and creamy. This is one of the darkest eyeliners I own. So I like to use this to tight line, and I'm also gonna line my waterline later on too. Okay, I just did something. I went back in with the black, and I just added a tiny bit more right to the outer edge to make it look a little smokier and darker, and I like that. And what I always recommend to make your lashes last all day, through crying, through whatever, sweat, tears, anything, take your lash glue and apply it on your lash band, but also on your top lash line, just a little bit. You don't need much. But doing this extra step, it really, like I said, it's all about the details, but it really helps your lashes to last so much longer because you need the extra hold. I think especially if you are having any special occasion or your birthday. Does anybody else cry on their birthday? I don't always cry on my birthday, but I feel like this year I might. I don't know. I'm just really feeling like in my feelings this year, to be honest. I don't know if you guys know, but I think I've mentioned it before, but I am super sensitive. I'm very emotional. I am a crier. And I will say I love crying. I know that sounds so weird, but I think it's so healthy. I always like to cry at least once a month, and it's usually around the time where I have my period. It just feels so good, like just to let all of that out. But yeah, I'm thinking I might cry this year on my birthday. I'm just emotional. I don't know. It's just a bunch of, like I said, it's bittersweet, aging. And I don't mean aging in a way where like I feel like I'm getting old, but I'm getting older, you know, and I still feel young. I am also like, wow, I have like real responsibilities. So I definitely miss the simplicity of not having to worry about a million different things. So that's kind of just bittersweet. Just getting older, you always have something to do. You always have responsibilities. At the same time, it's a beautiful thing. Like I said, I'm grateful for where I am. I dreamed about the position that I'm in right now for so long, and like to finally have it is just like truly, I don't know. I can't even explain it. And I don't even know what I'm talking about. I know I'm going off on like a million different tangents, but I'm just in my feelings. Also, something else that's really difficult, or that's been difficult, is if any of you guys have pets, which I'm sure a lot of you guys do. Actually, I know a lot of you guys have pets, but watching your pets get older and getting gray is also really, really hard. Skin prep. This has been my favorite skin prep routine for pretty much all of my foundations. I use this with high-end foundations, and I also use this with drugstore foundations, and it's so good. And it makes your makeup last, and it's just a good base. So you can use any setting spray you want, but I love the Milani Make It Last. Elf also has really great setting sprays. Anything will work, but I like to spray my face first and then after, of course, to set everything. But setting spray before, it's honestly really extra, but I do notice a difference with my products. It just gives me a nice boost of hydration, and then I think my other primers and everything, they just stick and layer better over top. Start with one layer of that, let that dry, and then I'm going to use the XOXo SPF and primer from e.l.f. I have been like obsessed with this ever since this came out. I cannot put it down. It is so glowy and pretty, very hydrating. And I like to rub this in with a brush because sometimes the SPF and just products in general get stuck under my nails and it bothers me. It's like a pet peeve. So I like to just rub this in like circular motions. And this is the Anissa Beauty Pinnacle Skin, which is my favorite for primers, moisturizers, or even like SPF and like these kind of thicker formulas. And then I like to go in with the e.l.f. Niacinamide Power Grip Primer. I love the tacky base that this gives. It's kind of like the original, but this one, since it has the niacinamide in it, I find it to be a little bit more glowy on the skin, but honestly, they're both pretty similar. I like them both. So I like to put this pretty much everywhere, but especially where my makeup tends to fade usually the most, which is around this area. And then I put whatever is left over on like the rest of my face and also my forehead. So actually, fun fact, foundation I think lasts the best on my forehead. It like usually never comes off in this area, but yeah, I love this primer. This combo right here, I'm telling you guys, it's so good. For the foundation combination today, I'm going to use the Triclone Skin Tech from Haus Labs. I have this one in the color 250 light medium neutral. It's a little bit too dark for me at the moment, so I'm going to mix in my foundation mixing pigment from LA Girl in the shade White. I don't know why I was not using these before, because if you have any dark foundations, you can just add a little bit of this into your foundation and then just mix it. And voila, your foundation is lighter. And this foundation, I love it. It's really long lasting on its own, but especially with this base, I actually always get compliments too whenever I wear this foundation. It's so good. And of course, I'm gonna use my Pinnacle foundation brush. And with this brush, what I like to do is kind of like stipple in the product and really pack it on. And you can see just how effortless it blends the foundation into the skin, and you see how smooth that looks. It's also really quick with this brush too, and a lot of times I always see people say that they don't like to do their brows before the rest of the makeup because they having to avoid getting makeup in the brows, but with this brush it makes it so easy because again of the shape of it, you can like just be really precise on every corner of your face. I feel like a princess right now getting ready in this robe. I love it. 10 out of 10 recommend always getting ready in a silky robe. That has been like my favorite thing ever because it just adds a little, just the little things in life, you know? It's like also as I get older, I'm like, it's all about the little things. The little things are actually the big things sometimes in life. I have a couple favorite concealers that I'm really loving. IRL Filter Finish from Makeup Revolution. Great coverage, but somehow still feels really natural. I also love my Dominique Cosmetics Wide Awake Full Coverage Concealer, but I'm also loving the Faux Filter from Huda Beauty. I think I'm actually going to use this one today in the color Vanilla Swirl. I really like this color on me too, and I love the doe foot. It's nice too because Huda Beauty stuff is normally very heavily scented, but this product is actually fragrance free, which is nice. So this is also a like full coverage soft matte but hydrating formula. And then of course I'm taking the angled concealer brush and I start in the inner part and then just start blending out the rest of the concealer towards the rest of my under eye area. And you can see you really don't need to use a ton of product to get the full coverage when you're using this brush because it's dense but it's still really soft. So it's going to pack on the product, but at the same time, it's really seamless as you blend. And sometimes I do use way too much concealer and I realize that it's so unnecessary, you're wasting product, note to self. And with this brush, like I said, you just don't need to add a ton of it because you're going to get maximum coverage. So we're going to do a little cream bronzer, liquid bronzer actually. I'm going to take the liquid contour from Milani in the shade 01 Honey. Really, really blendable. I'm just going to put this right here around the perimeter. Also, right on the side of my nose. I like don't really usually contour my nose. And the reason is because sometimes I forget. To be honest, I actually really like my nose. So when I'm doing my makeup, it's usually not like the first thing that I think of. But I want to get more into doing it because sometimes it looks a little bit weird when you don't put anything on your nose. Because then it's just kind of there. So I want to start contouring a little bit more. I need to practice more though because I'm not that great at contouring my nose. And this contour has a little bit of an ashy tone but a slight warm undertone as well. I really, really like it. I like the formula of this a lot. You see how it just blends so nicely? I love that chisel that it gives too. It's so pretty. I'm gonna use my angled concealer brush to blend out that nose contour. Kind of bringing it in towards the eyes just a little bit, like right in this part. That's what the girlies do from what I see. And I'm gonna take just a little bit of concealer right down the middle of the nose. And I'm just wiping off the same brush as I go and just blending that out as well. And then with whatever is left over from that concealer that I just applied, I'm going to use the rest of that to help blend out the rest of the bronzer. Did that help? I think that did, right? Wow, I think I did pretty good. Ooh. Love. I'm also going to add a touch of cream blush. This is the Moira Love Heat Cream Blush in the shade I Miss You. So beautiful. It's like a true baby doll hot pink. I love this formula. These come in beautiful shades and they're so pigmented. Look at that. I like barely dipped the brush in there. So I'm just going to blend that right on the apples of my cheeks. I'm definitely going to do a lot of blush today and layer this with some more powdered blush, but I like to have the cream base down first because I do feel like it makes a difference with how the powder blush wears throughout the day. It makes it last just a little bit longer, more vibrant. So if you struggle with your blush fading throughout the day, try doing just a light layer of a cream underneath. Now I'm going to set everything. I'm going to start with my under eyes first, and I'm going to use a loose pink powder. This one is from Dominique Cosmetics, and I like to apply this and just concentrate the product a little bit more precisely on my under eye area. So I take the powder, put a little bit right on the back of my hand, and then I go in and just set this area. I love this powder. It's so smooth and it gives a little bit of brightness because of that light pink undertone. Loving the way that it makes my under eyes look. And right before I set with any powder, I always go back in and blend out my creases on my under eyes. And then I set immediately after. I'm also gonna put the powder right on like the sides of my nose. Now I'm gonna set the rest of my face with my Charlotte Tilbury powder. And again, this one's in one fair. With my tapered highlighter brush, I'm gonna take this and just start concentrating the powder first on my cheeks, but pretty much I take this all around my face and I just start setting everywhere. And this is nice because when you set your makeup, it's not going to be cakey. The powder is going to absorb really nicely into your skin without looking or feeling heavy. And it really depends on the look, but I love concentrating the powder versus sometimes taking like a big brush and just dusting powder everywhere, because then sometimes you can miss certain areas of your face. I will also run some of the powder right under my eyes too. I love doing a combination of loose and pressed powder, and the brush fits perfectly on this area too. It fits honestly all over your face. Sometimes powder can just look heavy on the face, especially if you're using a brush that's a little bit too dense, which depends on the look that you're going for, of course, but with this one, it just sets everything in the softest way where your skin literally looks airbrushed and porcelain. And you know, we gotta add some blush, so I'm gonna use my Juvia's Place Volume 4 blush palette with the same brush, the tapered highlighter. I'm gonna take some of the Cotton Candy Pink and just go right over where the cream blush was. This is the prettiest addition to any blush look. Like, this is the prettiest blush, honestly. It's gonna work on so many different skin tones. It's such a great formula. I feel like this is honestly the only like cotton candy bright blush that you're gonna need. And I'm gonna add some bronzer. And I just wanna do a touch of it because I already did like liquid contour. So I'm gonna take my Milani Silky Matte Bronzer in the shade 03 Suntan. I love this, it's nice and matte. I'm just gonna apply that right around my hairline just to kind of emphasize that liquid contour a little bit. I'm also gonna just hit my jaw. There's honestly nothing better than getting ready with just like your favorite products. It's just, honestly, it's the best. I'm just wiping off the makeup on the earrings. Don't forget to do that. Gotta set the eyebrows, of course. I'm taking the Oma Beauty 2-in-1 Brow Styler. Now I wanna add a little blush topper, and I'm debating if I wanna do the Haus Labs Bio Radiant Gel Highlighter in the shade Rose Quartz. So good. I love the way this looks too with the Juvia's Place blush. It's the prettiest combo. This is gorgeous. It's gonna give you a little bit of that pink hue, but it adds this really nice glow. But I also have this little Fenty Freestyle Highlighter in What a Brat, and that's also gorge. So like, which one? They're like different, as you can see, like the undertones. Which one do I want to do? Do we do both? Let's just try both and see how it looks, and then I'll decide. I'm gonna start with the Fenty first. Okay, so this one's definitely much more more glittery, glitterier. Whereas House Labs is definitely not glittery and it's just more smooth. And I'm gonna just mix both because I already have the Fenty one on this side. It is pretty though. One is more glittery than the other. Just depends on what you're looking for. And then I'm just taking the House Labs one right over top. For the rest of the eyes, I'm going in with the Rare Beauty highlighter in the shade Enlighten. I'm just gonna pop that in the inner corner. I love the formula of this, and you don't even have to spray your brush also with this. It's really vibrant, and this is the best inner corner shade. Pixie eye pencil again. And then I'm gonna take these two colors in the Dose of Colors palette, and I'm going to basically also smudge a little bit of the eyeliner and just make this very, very like just blown out and smoky. I also like doing this because it does, I think, help to conceal those fine lines just a little bit. I'm gonna connect it up towards the wing as well. A lip combo. Let's start off with the Rare Beauty lip liner in the shade Wise. I love this formula. I love this color. It works with so many of my favorite lipsticks. I also like to take the lip liner and just fill in my lips around the edges, just to feather in the product to make it look a little bit less harsh. I think for lipstick, I might switch it up on my birthday. I'm not really sure because I have like a million different lip colors that I'm loving, but the e.l.f. O Face lipstick in Dirty Talk, so creamy and comfortable. I'm gonna put that right in the center. Yes. I love the color No Doubt too. That's really good. Love. Okay, and then we can need a little topper gloss. I think I have a couple options. I love my topper glosses, but I think I'm actually gonna do this one. LA Colors Holographic Iridescent Gloss in the shade Sugared. Look how pretty that is. It's like pink with like a ton of like sparkly glitter. See like how gorge? Yes. Love. And then to set my makeup, I'm just gonna use Milani Make It Last, but I'm also gonna add some of the One Size Until Dawn waterproof setting spray because this stuff really works. It's so intense though, so you've been warned. It has a very strong scent, so I usually hold my breath beforehand, but it works. So I'm gonna start off with this first. This is amazing on its own, but I like to be a little extra and just really secure the makeup with that one from One Size. Plus that one is super mattifying, so it's just gonna seal everything in. And I'm gonna let that dry and then One Size. So that is officially everything for my birthday glam. Get ready with me. I love the way this look turned out. Like I feel so pretty right now and the products are too good. As always, I will have everything for you guys linked down below in the description box if you're interested. And don't forget to check out my JuicyJas Essentials brush set and use code JuicyJas for 25% off. Shout out once again to Anissa Beauty for working with me on this and in today's video. Thank you guys also for all of your support, for being here and for being a part of my journey. You guys are awesome and I appreciate all of you. So thank you so much for everything and I'll see you guys very soon in my next one. Bye.